Yeah, happy Thursday, everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Changing Lives. Hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burton. We got an awesome show tonight, and the night show is inspired by Hollywood couple that they went through a divorce about a year ago, and their plan of how they're going to go forward with raising their children. And so I had the question run across my mind. Sometimes what I may think is crazy, or another person may think is insane. But I want to have a discussion tonight with people discussing, parenting rules after divorce. What's crazy? And it's not limited to if you actually were married, and I could be just regular co-parenting, but just some crazy ass arrangements, or what you may deem to be crazy or unique arrangements that people may be going through, people may be requested to go through. Just had that discussion with you guys tonight. Again, tonight we're discussing parenting rules after divorce. What's crazy? Before we get started, I want to say what's up to my awesome producer, DJ Lab.
What's going on, brother?
Man.
Thursday, best day of the week, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Crazy
Thursday, busy couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
Computer outages. Man, this business right here, boy.
We still hanging in there.
We still hanging in there.
Still hanging in there.
Yeah.
But,
how was your weekend?
Yeah, pretty good, man. Pretty good. We this weekend, some good stuff happened this weekend. I don't know why the hell I'm going blank.
I saw you with Chris.
With Chris?
Yeah,
Chris had his orientation on Friday.
Okay.
The college and everything, so that's cool. Yeah. Shout out. He's moving August 14th.
Okay. Is he ready?
Yeah, I think he's ready.
Okay.
I think he's just that balance of nervous and excited.
Okay.
We're doing that and stuff like that. William, he's just ready for him to get the hell out of the house. But we'll see and everything. But they're doing pretty good. Pretty good. I appreciate you asking.
Okay.
Everybody doing great, man. Besides that, man, you had to do a lot of little regrouping here and down this weekend and stuff. And now I'm getting ready for that. Plus, I got a lot of little other projects, business-wise, got to get squared away. But everything has been going pretty good.
Okay,
also want to say what's up to my other producer, Slick 316. What's going on, Reed?
In the building.
And again, guys, this is Change the Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burton. In Change the Lives, we talk about personal development, professional development, motivation, family. I'm a black single father, so I try to get a lot of things from that perspective as well when we talk about those particular things. And again, tonight we're talking about parenting rules after divorce. What's crazy? And again, it's not limited to if you went through a divorce. You can be regular co-parenting, but just some absurd things that you may have heard, experienced, or been requested of. Right now, we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter. The main hub is the Change the Lives YouTube channel where we have over 700 videos. But if whatever platform you're on, please try to go to the YouTube channel if you have to leave, come back, or anything like that. The whole video in its entirety will be on the YouTube channel, Change Your Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burton. Also, guys, feel free to call in. The call-in number is 678-740-9894. And I will need you people to call in tonight, because this is an insightful subject. Because, this is not something I want everybody to kind of be backing away from. So definitely call in if you have some kind of arrangement or been proposed some kind of arrangement, or you want to request a certain arrangement that you may think is kind of contrary to normal.
Are these requests beneficial to the person requesting?
I mean, it can be stated beneficial to the child, but you know how that goes. But that's the reason why I want to have the discussion tonight. But again, we're talking about parenting rules after divorce. What's crazy? Again, the call-in number is 678-740-9894. But yeah, man, what inspired me about this particular show? The actress Tia Mowry, the twins, and she was married to they had the Corey Hardrick, and they got divorced from my last show.
Okay.
And what had me thinking, man, I read an article, and they had part of their divorce settlement. Check this out. This is shit I'm sitting there. That they had to be, before the kids could meet someone, they had to be exclusively dating that person for 6 months. I want to make sure I get this right. exclusively dating that person for 6 months, and the other person had to meet them, and before the children have any dealings with them. And again, I don't think that's abnormal or anything like that. But on the flip side, sometimes you wonder, like, because I ain't never knew that you had shit like with your dating thing. Just kind of like, okay, hey, you figured out.
Right.
But they put that part of their damn settlement because they share custody and everything. I know if I'd asked my ex-wife something like that, she'd have cut me out. she cussed me out on that shit. And
say something like that.
yeah, but with that said, on the flip side, who the hell want to date somebody 6 damn months and then month number 7 come around, I gotta meet your psychotic ass son.
So you don't know if you might want to wait a little while before you meet the son of the children.
But you love me, no,
a little bit.
Yeah, though. Little psychopaths. Chucky dog pop out.
Right.
You mind know that? Hell no. Hell no.
Especially if they older children, like if they in their 20s and they're 25 and he been the man of the house since he was 6.
Yeah, one time, man, I dated a chick, boy. That son came in there with his drawers, just thing hanging. He 26, just scratching. What up, D? Like, hell no. I mean, thing just hanging out, 20, 25, 26.
Right.
Ain't thinking about working.
Right.
What up, man? Smelling like a blunt fist.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think that a lot of times exes will attach on to the children to kind of see what's going on in the ex-spouse's house? They'll have these arrangements or these rules that they want with the co-parenting that may not be, how you say, they may not be
Benefits to the child.
benefit to the child,
I mean,
or you as the parent, or on the other hand, or necessary.
I think it'd be a rainbow of reasons. Because here's the thing about it. Guys, please call in 678-740-9894. Again, 678-740-9894. I think it can be a rainbow of reasons. If you guys have any suggestions about any kind of parenting arrangement ever, please call in, guys, so we had a discussion. I think it'd be a rainbow of reasons. Like jealousy, control, one maybe legitimately thinking about the children's welfare and everything. But what I had to come to the grips of, and me and my ex-wife really had no issues. We have more issues, just probably just not liking each other, but not necessarily with the kids. But the thing is that your vision of parenting and their vision of parenting, when you're not together, may be totally different. And you can fight that as long as you want. But at the end of the day, you can't control what's not around you.
Okay.
It's kind of like when I did the video the other week that's been going out. Shout out to everybody for checking out the video I did about Faith Evans and Stevie J. And what I was talking about, so you spend so much time trying to fight, and the lawyer's getting fat.
Right.
And you can't really even, divorce is not what you want or what they want. It's really what the hell you can agree on.
Right.
And that's a hard thing for a lot of people to come to grips with. Because you see so many people, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that. It sounds good.
Right.
It sounds good, but that's just not the reality of everything. And so when you look at with your children and stuff, when you're together, y'all might bump heads or things like that, but a lot of things that you may be, what you may deem admissible, y'all together. You know what I'm saying? So you may be a little bit more conforming to it, but once you're in separate, domiciles, that's when things get funky. Because again, now like you just said, the other dynamic, do the people still like each other? Are they trying to sit here and keep tabs and stuff? You don't know. And I can sit here and just say from a personal perspective, I really don't be knowing what the hell going on between some people's ears. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you don't know. And that's one of the things about it. Like I said, just that with that vision being off, you got to accept that what I think is right and what they think is right is just maybe two whole different visions.
Slick say everybody that you messing with don't need to meet your kids. Do you agree with that statement?
Absolutely. But see, here's the thing about it, is that you got that. This is how I look at it with kids. I say that you got to be realistic about what you're doing. If you just kicking and try to have fun, and this is my personal opinion, that your kids don't need to meet them. But if you sitting there saying, look, I'm looking long term, this, that, and that, you got to be realistic about, hey, listen, everything gonna come together. That doesn't mean they need to meet them initially,
right?
But the thought process, you gotta understand that's gonna come along. Now, if you say this is just my friend, we hang out, we do this, that, and that, it ain't necessary,
right? You
know what I'm saying? But if you saying, okay, this possibly could be that, or that, because you may go into it not knowing that's gonna happen. But if you get, to the point you say, well, look, I'm serious, this, that, and that, damn near like every woman over damn 40, I'm looking to do this and all that kind of stuff, and I don't know why they want to. I'm not gonna stop.
No, yeah,
stop.
We talking about parenting rules. We talking about.
Gonna be a boyfriend,
right?
But I agree with that. But I do think the path of what you're looking for, they got to be taken consideration. Because at the end of the day, like, folk got to be realistic, man. Like, do you can be great, but shit, you got damn some problem kids. Shit, I ain't gonna talk about the little boy, but I know ex-family members of mine, boy.
Right.
Woo.
Yeah.
I know, boy. She gonna have a tough time dealing with that joker. That joker, Tasmanian Devil 2.0.
I just think a lot of times when it comes to them children and parenting and being in divorce and working through divorce, them kids tack on a lot of things. Kids, and I'm not saying kids are bad. Luckily, I got divorced and my kids were older, so I didn't have to worry about any of that co-parenting or visitation or any of those parenting rules because my kids were older. But it seems like it's a lot attached to the children as far as rules, and it's more rules that are beneficial to the person requesting those rules. You get what I'm saying? Like they want to see what's going on, all that. Once we divorce, baby.
Okay. Well, okay. I can look at that two ways. I can look at that from the perspective of, like you say, look, we ain't together. Shit, go on and hey, this how it gonna be or whatever. I can look at it from that perspective, but at the end of the day, you might be divorced from a person, but it's still new. You a month or 6 months, a year out of a divorce, it's totally different from you 3-4 years out. Things you might have been stressing about, this, that, and that, because now you done readjust it. Because what's happening is you're doing something new. It's just you're being straight up with that. So you may be like, man, I want to make sure this, that, and that. A lot of stuff can be just set out of paranoia, because you really don't know, how things gonna go. But a couple years out of it, ain't no big deal. Shit, right. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand. I didn't really have that issue, but I definitely can understand. I'm just, with that. Me and my ex-wife, we didn't really have no do this, do that, and all that kind of stuff. We really didn't have that. But I definitely can see somebody having that, being straight out of something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I think as time go by, that's when people can maybe just like, some stuff's not a big deal because people didn't have that actual adjustment to something, Right. Again, guys, we're talking about parenting rules after divorce. What's crazy? The call-in number 678-740-9894. Again, guys, it's not limited to if you were married or divorced. You just basically co-parenting. You didn't think something is crazy. And what I did, I just wrote down a couple things, some crazy stuff. I want to say unique stuff.
Okay.
So again, somebody else may look at it totally different.
I was going to say, throw me some of them crazy. Throw me some of them examples.
And this is one, some of these we're not going to say they're mine, stuff I went through.
Right. They're just in general.
But I heard about it.
Right. None of this stuff we're talking about pertains to anything, to anyone in this studio. These are just general conversations,
I ain't gonna
general
lie.
Topics.
Some of it been stupid shit I've been proposed to me. I ain't gonna sit there. Some of it been stupid shit. I ain't gonna lie. I'm about like George Washington with a cherry tree. Shit. What you
Slick say kids can be a deal breaker on both sides. Lion Layla says we're not getting a divorce. Go lay down somewhere in the other room.
But even with with taking on certain things, just like being a single parent and doing stuff like that, you know, you dating people, you're adjusting how things are with that. It's one thing already, you know, you just dating, get to know people. And, you know, just having, you know, understanding how people can really, you know, be with your children. Or, hey, you could be with their children and stuff. So that's all task in its own.
Right.
But I think one of the biggest damn proponents is how the other parent gonna be. And I don't think people really think about that.
You don't think so?
Hell no. A lot of times, I mean, unless you already had a bad experience, because you be like, okay, you know, she cool, she got the kids, okay, we made how you want to navigate it. But, and then it may hit, you're like, oh man, you know, baby daddy from hell, baby mama from
That'd
hell.
be the worst thing right there.
Because you know, you don't, you know, like I said, unless you have an experience, you may not think about it. Guys, again, call in 678-740-9894. But you don't really think about it, Bob. You know, and then when it happens, you're like, man. But one of the things, you know, I just went through my little list in regards to things, you know, what's crazy, just rules and stuff. And there could be a plethora of things, because people having different adjustments. Because again, when you start talking about parenting vision, remember we talking about two different people.
Right.
You know, religion, education, medical, discipline, where you live, schooling, all this kind of stuff. You know, two different lenses now. Where those two lenses maybe have been working together before, maybe kind of didn't like it, but they worked together. But now it's totally different. Especially start talking about if somebody, you know, the custodial and non-custodial and everything, it can be very tough. And so that's why sometimes, you know, I can understand why people may try to put rules, but at the end of the day, I guess your vision really can't be overbearing.
Okay.
To the other person.
Goddamn Sorcerer says I have to ask them if they want me to have a relationship with their children. Like if he's dating somebody or getting serious with somebody, he asks them if they want him to be in a relationship with their children. You know what I'm saying?
If they say, but what you say if they say no?
Bad.
You know?
I mean,
I'm just saying, like, you know, I can get that, but if you kicking it, it ain't necessary.
Right.
But if we looking to be serious, I got to. Cause I'd be damned if I'm being, you know, looking at the game. Can you tell him to stop? Hey, y'all sit down. Tell your mama. No, hell no. Not this one here.
It's not going down like that.
Hell no.
At your house.
Hell no. Or even I'm at her house.
Yeah.
Shit. You know. And, you know, like I said, I made my little list. So here are a couple of things. We're going to go through these. And, guys, you know, feel free, again, call in. You know, get your input in. The first one is, and, you know.
What are these? These are rules, parenting rules after divorce.
Some things have been implemented that you just maybe think a little bit different.
Okay.
Different. And you say, what's crazy or whatever. And that's separate birthday celebrations.
Okay.
And you sit here and say to yourself, like, okay, we're going to have this birthday, we're going to have birthday. And some of these damn things, shit, I done went through it. I thought it was stupid as shit then.
Okay.
I think it's stupid as shit now.
Okay.
So, you know, damn, you know, that's why I can say and say some of these things and stuff like that. Stupid as shit then now. And you sit there and say to yourself, because at the end of the day, the key thing, I think a lot of times is what? Is if you had a kid and you celebrating a birthday or whatever, whose birthday is it?
The kid's birthday.
Now,
Child's.
at the end of the day, what I want to do for the kid and you want to do for the kid is what we want to do.
Right.
But if the kids say they want to do this and we doing something contrary, that's when things, you know, can be a little bumful. Kids, a lot of times, may be a little more excited because now I got two sets of different gifts I can get.
Right.
I get it. But you said now you're getting away from that. We're doing it. And now, doing that kind of thing, and if you guys say here, you know, just say if it's not a financial problem, it's not a logistical problem, I understand where you may say, okay, whatever. Now, people don't get along, and it may take away from it and whatever. You know, just say you don't want to have different family members or whatever fighting and stuff like that. I understand it. You hope adults can be the bigger person and stuff like that. But that typically ain't always how shit goes. I get it. But those kind of things I'm talking about, now you're sitting there like, you got something totally separate. And I don't necessarily know if people have budgets.
Right.
to be sitting here and be doing certain things like that.
So separate birthday.
Yeah. So you sitting there like, what in the hell is going on?
And Line Lady Love and Damn Saucer, you don't have to be divorced to answer these questions or have been married. These could be answered as how you would want the rules to be if you were divorced, or if you were in a relationship and had children with somebody. How would those rules be once you guys separated? It don't have to be. This could be imaginary. Imagine this. It don't have to be actual and factual. It could be just subliminal.
Man, and that's one of the things I just think a lot of times, when people lose sight of who's it for, but it can easily happen. Another one is, and I was looking these up, nesting arrangements. And a nesting arrangement is basically, and it'll blow your mind, how many people actually do this. So instead of moving the kids away, I'm gonna stay with mama this weekend, stay with daddy this weekend, or 2 weeks here, there, and there. They keep one domicile, and the parents rotate to stay at that particular house. So it's damn near like 3 houses.
Okay.
So parent may stay, mama may stay with them for a couple weeks there, and then they move out, and daddy stay a couple weeks out. That's a Hollywood shit, ain't it? I was
gonna say, who the hell doing that? So this is to keep the child from coming to either other of your houses. Y'all have a house in the middle.
Yeah, just doing that.
That's rich people shit right there.
Rich people shit, but plenty of people got kids living out of damn book bag all the damn time.
Yeah, I guess so.
We're doing it, and it's interesting because going back to what I'm saying, check this out, like, think about it from that perspective. When we start talking about these particular things, you like, that's crazy as hell. But my crazy and your crazy can be somebody's normal.
That's true.
And that's what, we talk about tonight in regards to just these, parenting rules after divorce. And again, like I said, it's not limited to just divorce. You can just be straight, separated co-parents, never got married or however. But it's just amazing sometimes with that. And that's why I want to have a discussion with people. Because again, if we can get people sometimes, I want to say thinking outside the box, but accepting that the way I look at stuff ain't always the same. Because I had to do adjustments too,
right?
With certain things, I don't believe that certain things should probably be said around kids, and somebody else may think something different,
right?
And if it's not corrected, I had to learn the hard way. You can't do shit about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You had to go with it.
Right.
And that was very challenging for me, to say the least. You know what I mean? And so those are the kind of things, like, if you were in a joint, you probably can handle that different and everything. But when your kids are away from you, ain't too much shit you can do.
You can do about that.
Ain't nothing you can do about it. And unfortunately, that happens. It happens, and far too often, it has a real big negative impact on the child, big picture wise.
Okay.
Guys, feel free to call in 678-740-9894.
And I should have said this a long time ago, but say hey to your mama.
What's up, mama? What's going on?
She came in when it first went live. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, mama. I saw you, but I forgot. I was doing other.
I see my mama on Instagram, man.
You over here on Facebook.
Mama everywhere. She don't know what the hell she want to look at. I see her on Instagram.
Well, she probably just went over to Instagram.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But again, we're talking about parenting rules after divorce. What's crazy? Just different kind of arrangement people may have, or people may be proposing, requesting, or things you may be going through, or you even thought about, suggesting yourself. That the other person just like, no, and everything. I just want to have a discussion with you guys. Call in 678-740-9894. You about to say something loud?
No. Lion Layla said this is Georgia. You can't file for spousal support, maybe child support. I don't know. Can you?
Yeah,
you get spousal support.
It's called alimony.
Yeah.
Alimony.
You can.
Yeah, you can get that. You can get alimony.
That's how you had the 2 houses.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's you can do that. But I just don't think people get so caught up in TV, and when we start talking about custody and divorce and stuff like that, people think they know the law, but they really don't. And this is the real tickle. That's not to offend nobody. A lot of times, it's so many people really don't have folks give a damn about the custody side. You might You know, and I'm being very damn honest right now.
Yeah.
That you might got somebody on child support, but they can give a shit regardless about seeing the kids.
The
so that
child,
really
the child
exactly.
They
worry about their money.
Child support. They feel that child support take care of that part. They need to know what mama doing.
Yeah, or they just don't give a damn. They just come out and check, ain't dealing with it. So
Right.
the actual seeing this, that, and that, people really don't understand laws in regards to what you can and what you can't damn do.
I know when I shoot, my son had to be 19, and I still had to go to court for child support for him. He was 19.
Because of arrears.
No, I never owed child support. That's the thing. I raised my children till 19. I left and got divorced when he was 19.
You had to pay. You had to pay.
I
for
had
it.
to pay, but that's the problem. We had to go through the process.
Yeah, once it started, it's there.
Right. Once she started the process, we had to go through it. So that's what I'm saying. It's like,
Bullshit.
but the paperwork, you can see his age. You know he's 19. You know he's
She would hit you with some low blows. Like.
right. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. What's up, Trading Code? What's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. Guys, I need y'all to call in. Share some of your stories or some of your ideas. 678-740-9894.
Slick say you got the new kid way and the old kid way.
What's the new kid way?
Yeah, I wonder what's the new kid way.
Well, what's the new kid way? I think you got the I want to be bothered and I don't give a damn. Shit. What? I think that's what the hell it is.
Right.
You know, it's just, people just, if they do or don't want to be damn bothered.
Right.
That's one of the biggest kickers. And we're talking about parenting rules after divorce. What's crazy? And another thing about just looking at guys is we got Sandy Love. What's going on, lady? How do you co-parent when the other parent doesn't engage the kids with the other parent? Well, technically, you're not co-parenting. The question was, how do you co-parent when the other person doesn't engage the person with the other parent? Well, let me say this. Okay, that's a good question. Because I personally, I can be transparent. I kind of go through that same BS where, I may call this, that, and that, no response, da. We're doing it. It's extremely challenging. To try to do things when it's not responsive. And I wish I had an answer for you. Because if I had an answer, I wouldn't go through half the bullshit I go through.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Because you can't get people on the side. You will hope folks, for whatever reason, can actually, be, want to, look at the bigger picture with doing things, but you can't. So I wish I could give you an answer, but I don't know what to do with that, because at the end of the day, people really, if a person's not engaged and they're not responsive to one parent, y'all supposed to be working together, it's gonna always be a cluster mess.
There's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, because you plan to do this, and then they papa got to do that. You believe in doing this, and then they believe in doing that. But all the while, you don't know this shit until something happens, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Yeah. So, God knows I'm going through the same damn thing myself. So I can't. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't damn know. I don't know. And I'm trying to be as politically correct and nice as possible without saying something about people, but it's extremely tough.
Slick say the new kid way is parents are their kids' friends. Parents now don't keep their kids out of grown person's face. Nowadays, these parents now tend to be friends with their children.
Something funny about that, lad. I'm gonna say this, and this is just my personal opinion. You really don't understand. I think just as parents, and you're speaking from having technically 3 adult children right now, you really don't understand the impact on some things until they become adults. And unfortunately, things like that, not respecting authority, not, just keeping adults talking, just how they, mannerisms, just respect, they don't come prevalent until that kid is become maybe a young adult or an adult. Unfortunately, as we know as parents, the younger they are, the more control that we have. As they get older, we got less control. And when I mean control, even how the outside world, we can't get them put back in school. We can't get them out of jail and stuff like because they got older. And unfortunately, those, I don't want to say they're bad practice, but when you decide to do certain things like that, you know, teaching respect authority or have them around adults doing certain things like that, now you got an adult that have certain issues, and you just kind of stuck.
Kind of stuck a little bit, yeah.
You know, and you usually see that stuff when that kid get about 16 years old, 16, 17, and really, you know, they damn near really too old to kind of get them out of them same funky habits. You know what I'm saying? And that's unfortunate we're doing that. But people, but that's one thing about children. You really don't see the bad, but those kind of practices as a parent, you don't see it till they get older. And unfortunately, it's kind of damn too old then. And now everybody posting, free my baby. Free my baby. Free the real. I see that all on Facebook. Free my baby. Thieving ass baby.
Do you think that when you have the co-parenting thing and the rules of divorce, do you think that the parents kind of play the child against each other? Like one parent is good, and like say if you say no, Chris, you can't go to such and such this weekend. Then he go with his mama out for the weekend. She be like, yeah, you can go. You already told them.
I think
Wednesday.
I think parents do that, kids do it. Parents may do it because they just don't agree with it or whatever, and they don't necessarily come to you. I'm from the school of thought, you know, let me holler at your mama. You know what I'm saying? So a parent can do it, but also kids can be manipulative because they know who to lenient parent on certain subjects. Daddy may be a little more lenient in school, mama may be a little bit more lenient in going out. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so kids can play that little role, but depending on the respect level with the parents and stuff like that, you know, that can happen. So it can happen from both, the kid and the parent. We're doing that. Sandy Love said, or should I say, they would not engage the kids without me being present. I don't know. You know, and that's a good point. With, you can't make nobody want to be a parent. You can't make nobody want to deal with their kids. I'm a firm believer. You can make somebody be responsible legally for their child. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even if you just the only custodian, like you might say, still I don't want to get them in. They'll keep bringing your baby back to you. You know, if they stealing whatever. Then after that, they just send them to jail. Or if another parent doesn't want to deal with them, you can put them on child support. But you can't make nobody want to be. You can call somebody a deadbeat daddy, a deadbeat mama. They don't give a damn, because they don't care. And if they care, they can say,
you wouldn't be going through.
Yeah, they can have 3 kids over here. They don't give a damn about one right here they're in love with. You can't. They don't give a damn they wrong.
Right.
You can't make nobody that way. I'm a firm believer in that. And if you criticize them and call them sorry deadbeat, they don't give a damn.
They're gonna do it more.
The only people that give a damn is a person that really is probably a good person. It's just they probably got conflicts with certain things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, people don't really give it. If people are sorry, they don't give a damn, because they know they are.
They know, right. Going back to the kids being, you don't realize that they're terrible until they get older. Slick said parents now smoke blunts and go out to clubs with their kids. Lionel Layla said they usually give them a slap on the wrist. In Georgia, you can go to charter schools up to 21. I guess that's me putting your kid in with charter, another kind of school. Well, she said back in the day it was called Street Academy. I don't know what Street Academy was.
Maybe like a alternative school.
Alternative school, okay. So they say, I tell mine once, it's done. We play and do fun stuff, but kids know to stay in a kid's place. Charity starts at home. At times, parents like the kid of the person they're with.
Okay, check this out.
Like you just said.
Yeah, and check this out. With all those opinions in regards to how you should rear your kids and doing that stuff, that is that parent's opinion. Now we can look at it from a point saying, okay, that's morally right. This is what you should, what you shouldn't do with your children. But that's what that person feels. That don't make me right. That don't make you wrong.
Right.
But we got to sit here and say, well, look, we got to have, you know, that's the whole basis. We talking about parenting. You got to have some kind of shared vision because, again, I may be here, you may be there, but we got to meet in the middle of the road. And unfortunately, that's not what happens a lot of times. And another thing I want to bring up, just like joint decision making on major life events. Now, let me tell you something, dog. I went through personally, and I've seen so many times where, especially when they get older, like, you know, kids just, you know, even when younger, one parent wanted them to play sports, and it may be, look, I got this and stuff, this plan for them, and another one, no. One parent like, look, they need to go to college. Another parent say, nah, ain't no big deal. One want to go to the military. Another say this, that, and the kid, and those kind of things are, man, here's the deal. As adults, you might call me, say, Pooch, man, you my partner, man. I just want to, you know, you may just want me to kind of, not sway you to do it, but just get it off your chest, whatever. But because me and you can be cool, my words can have such an impact on you to throw you totally damn off.
Right.
You know, we're doing it. Nah, man, I'm going to Army, don't do this, that, and that. And you're like, damn, I'm ready to go, man, everything. Man, you know, they ain't place for a black man. And you just totally don't do it. The unfortunate part about a lot of times when people do that, they don't have a plan for you to do afterwards.
They don't have a plan B.
Yeah, they ain't got a plan B for it.
There's no plan A ain't what they want you to do.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that happens a lot. One, especially when we start talking about colleges and all that other kind of stuff. Especially one working one path, working another. I've seen it, been through the same shit. You know, it's tough. Root wise, it still goes back to how the parents working together. You know, ideally you want to have a shared vision. Well, look, man, hey, you and the other parent, y'all can sit down and talk, have an adult conversation, and these are my pros and cons, these your pros and cons, and you want to be able to sit like a unified front with the kids. Because again, kids can be very impressionable on both sides. Especially they got a genuine love and respect for both parents.
Right.
But any kind of indifference from any side can throw shit away.
Right.
And that's very, very, very unfortunate. I've seen tons of times over the years and experienced it where one parent got a shared vision of the kid being on a certain path, and another parent say something, they get off that path, and now the kid detoured and never can recover. You know what I'm saying?
Right, I get what
it don't
you're saying.
be the end of the world for them, but now they sitting there like, you know, you might say, okay, cool. I seen a lot of times kids maybe getting ready to go to college and doing this kind of stuff. One parent will call first semester, like every kid when they go to school. I hate to hear this, that, and that. One parent maybe said, man, stay your ass up there, go through it. You know, another one come on home. I don't want to hear my baby cry.
Right.
They get home, and now you sitting there trying to get them a job. They won't go, but then you sitting there a year or two later, they kind of stuck.
Right.
I'm not saying what's right, I ain't saying what's wrong. But these kind of things happen. When we're talking about major life events, we're doing certain things like now, and it is very, very, very tough. Those are probably one of the major struggles with parents when they're in different places.
Oh, okay.
I've had to wrestle with that shit myself, and I can't sit here and tell you what's right way. I had to learn just damn near Debo. Debo, like, look, man, you know, do this if I say.
Right.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that's gonna work either.
Wow.
You know, so it's very, very tough. And I don't think parents really think about, again, people are very stuck on now. And a lot of times people don't get so, look at 5, 10, 15 years from now with their children. I always remember my grandfather having that talk with me when I was about 12 or 13, boy, I ain't gonna be here forever. And I had never really realized, like, damn, he might die one day.
Right.
And my mindset changed, like, you know, kind of like, okay, I need to make sure I'm doing stuff for me. I was glad he said that. But I know everybody don't necessarily get that talk. Whereas, you know, again, it's not a right or wrong way to parenting. But, you know, we did that show before. If you die today, will your kids be okay? And a lot of times parents deal with their kids for now and not for later on. Because every time they have a fall, every time they have a slip, they fix it. And now you sitting there, kid 25, 26, 27, 30 years old.
Don't know which way to go.
Don't know which way to go. You got a young man, mom and daddy fixing their mistake. And now your woman calling you weak. You got a young lady, every mistake getting fixed. And now you got a problem because your man see every time he trying to sit and tell you do something, you run back and listen to your mom and daddy. That shit happen a lot, Lab.
Yeah.
It happen a lot.
Yeah, it does.
When people,
I mean, even when I first got married, that happened a lot. But you know, we work through it. Lion Lady Love says that this is not a divorce answer, but breakup situation, kids always follow the mother, and some kids don't even know who their fathers are. Slick says that kids try to make the parents happy. Lion Lady Love says, I heard some teenagers saying they want a job to help out, and some don't because they're spoiled. You know what I'm saying?
The first one, hell, I mean, people don't know. Hell, my kids live with me.
Right.
You know, we do joint custody. My kids live with me 80% of the time. And we share custody. Me and my ex-wife. They go, you know, on the weekends. I mean, that's public information.
Right.
With doing that, so it just depends. With doing it, that's not the norm.
Right.
I do know that. I do think that even with kids with siding with parents, boys tend to be a little bit more protective of mama, and girls kind of be a little bit more drawn to daddy.
Okay.
Now, if one of them parents is missing, that kind of, you know, it is what it is.
Right.
But typically, it's got, you know, girls, if daddy around, girl may kind of gravitate with daddy. And daddy's gonna be a certain way with that. And like I said, the same with boys. With working and things like that, it varies. Because that's what I was saying before. Some parents don't want their kids doing certain stuff. Working, doing things, whatever. But again, I never ever get into telling a parent how to raise their kids.
Children.
I never have. Because the way I raise my boys, I've raised them that way since they were babies.
Right.
So my way is okay for mine.
Right.
Because anybody know me, I'm 2 weeks after graduation, you gotta get out of my house.
And some people say,
And not that I'm
smart.
Yeah, it's not that I'm kicking them out. I have prepped them to leave my house.
What the birds do when baby birds come up? They kick them out the nest and see if they gonna fly. They gonna figure it out one way or the other, or they gonna hit the ground, right?
Yeah, exactly. And my way of raising my kids, I don't necessarily think that's a wise way to do it if you have not been preparing them. You know what I'm saying? I've always had my kids walk around with, they knew they name, social, address. So you go apply, you do that. I never fill out application for my kids.
Right.
I'm talking about this teenagers. I never did that, but I prepped them for that.
Right.
I prepped them for doing that. You know, again, and that's just me. And any one of my children is from TPJ, they'll say that. That's how I am. You know, when they have stuff at school going on, stuff with coaches, hey man, go talk to them. This is how you can handle the situation, son. Like, I'm not finna go talk to them.
Right.
Until if something disrespectful happened, then I get involved. And I just really teach them how to handle conflict, do stuff, how to, you know, teach them how to resolve stuff on their own. If you feel like they're not listening to you or they're being disrespectful, they mistreat you, then I get involved. But I try to teach them to do it that way. That's how I always was with them. But that's how I did it. I don't get into, like, you know,
how you should do it.
Yeah, how you should do it.
Right.
'Cause like I said, I've been that way.
Right. From the beginning.
Yeah, from the beginning.
Knew coming up.
Yeah.
That's how I was.
And listen, there are things that I'm sure that I missed out of. Cause Chris finna leave, go to school in a month from now, and you know, same shit I did with PJ, same thing I did with T. Like, damn, did I teach him this? Did I go over this? Did I go over that? Do you see certain things like, damn, boy, you don't know how to do that? And it just, you gonna miss out.
Right.
You gonna miss certain things. Damn, I should have told him that. I should have, you know, and that's how that is. And it gets very challenging too. Now you got another person that may in a different area, they may think that's not a bright idea. You know?
Right.
I never, just put in perspective, I never preach entrepreneurship to my children, even though I'm an entrepreneur. But I preach to my kids, be happy. Be happy you got your own thing. Be happy you got your job. Now, if you want to do this, whatever, we can move in this path. Want to do this another way, you know, we can go in that path. But I could say that my kids didn't get reinforcement like that on the other side.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, now do this, do that. You know, that, because my thing is, if I tell you, because I raise my kids the way I do probably in business. If I tell you something, I'm telling you what I know. If it don't work, I got a solution for if it don't work.
Okay.
Now somebody else can tell you something and get their opinion, and damn you, hey, it didn't work, and they ain't got shit to say. And I think that's the kind of thing a lot of times people have to be very, very, very careful of. What you about to say, Lad?
Lon Lay Love says, I didn't pressure mine to go to college. Some kids feel pressure and stop what they're doing or drop out of school. Stop working because of the pressure that they're under with the parents applying that type of pressure.
You know, with 2 kids that went to college and one finna get ready to go, again, there are things we did from, I feel like I've done always to prep them for school. I can say this, you know your children. I can just say this, just share this story with PJ. Well, my two older boys were, they weren't getting up.
right.
I mean, they just drag getting up in the morning. Yeah, they drag getting up in the morning and all that kind of stuff. School bus out there honking for their ass, and they dragging out going to school. It wouldn't have been wise for me to send them somewhere, knowing that their asses ain't getting up. T had a football scholarship. I knew it was gonna be some coach making a run to fix that.
Right.
P he had a military scholarship. I knew they were gonna break that out of him. My 2 youngest sons, Christopher and William, they get up by the alarm.
Right.
So I'm cool with that.
Okay.
I'm cool with that. Those, and I'm gonna say this about college. If your kid, you know your kid, if they damn a rock or, when I say a rock, you know you got a damn, he ain't smarter than that.
Right.
Or she ain't smart. But I think my philosophy is always the other stuff have a big impact on college than, the education piece. That being, can they handle freedom? Do they get up in the morning? How they do with time management. That shit is more important, I think, have your kid ready for school than anything. Because if they haven't got that, that's what I think a lot of kids struggle with in school. Understanding that, because when you get to school, the cool part is that you got all this freedom. The bad part is you got all this freedom. Because you took the class on Tuesday, and you think that you got a lot of time, so you ain't gonna do your work till Sunday night.
Right.
But you like, damn, this is really 5 damn days worth of shit I gotta do. And
that's why they give it to you that.
Yeah. And so if you haven't got your child mentally prepared for that kind of stuff and knowing it, that's why I think more child. This is just me speaking.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you can have stuff with drugs and sex and all that kind of stuff, but I think those kind of things happen. I think a lot of times, just like your kid gotta be prepped, as a parent, you gotta be prepped. And that's when we start talking about challenges with parenting after divorce or even co-parenting. One parent like, hey bro, tough it out. Another one like, come on home.
Right.
Have you mentally prepared yourself? Just hey, let them go bump their head and fall over and stuff like that. That's one of the things a lot of times people gonna have to go through.
And you gotta think about.
Yeah, you gotta think about that. With doing it, because it's very frightening anytime your kids lead in this. But I have no problem with my children. They know it. If you need anything or you get them bumped, you can come back home. But make sure I'm not option B, C, or D.
What option you gotta be?
Shit.
Z.
You gotta be Z. But hey, go cook some ramen noodles.
Right.
Go ahead, get your ass out there and Uber.
Right, figure it out.
Go, go Uber. Go, hey, shit, go cut that damn pizza in about 10 pieces.
Right.
Spread it out during the week. You know what I mean?
Figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out. Figure it out.
Yes.
Figure it out.
Right.
Because that's the thing about it, man. And that's all of us have to go through that.
Right.
Because my fear, it can be totally different from my ex-wife. My fear was having this grown-ass person in my damn house that don't want to damn leave.
Or don't know how to.
Yeah, exactly.
Or don't know how to leave.
Hey, I ain't got no problem. Hey, man, you looking for a job or this, that, and that. Man, I help you. I got your back. Come on, son, good, But you got a month or two. Right. And I'm just saying whatever. And that can be extended. But you don't, I don't mind you utilizing me. I got a problem with you using me.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think that whole perspective of raising a child that's prepared for life as an adult works better if you guys are together as a unit, or does it not matter? Because you know we're talking about the rules of parenting, parenting after divorce, and some of this stuff works great when you're together. It works fine. You guys on the same page, but it seems that the page gets turned when you get divorced. You get what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know, like you be staying with a person to the point you can be married and be in the same house, but you know, one parent let them get away with every damn thing, another one, and they kind of gravitate to that. I mean, you can be in the same house, that same shit go on.
yeah, but I think it's more manageable when you're in the same house, don't you?
I absolutely agree with you. It's more manageable with doing it.
Because then you got to hear that whole, well, it's my house. They can do whatever they want to do on my house. When they at your house, they do what they do at yours. They do what I want them to do at mine. You don't run this house over here. You get what I'm saying?
I agree with you.
But the problem that you're having is that what you guys are disagreeing about, this could be for anybody. This is not for, what you guys are disagreeing about has an impact on this child when they become adults.
Yeah.
And the page needs to be turned together instead of the bumping heads. You get what I'm saying?
Hey, should they quit their job or should they stay? Should they leave this school or should they do this? Should they start doing these particular things or whatever? Those things are very impactful.
Right.
And in an ideal situation, you would hope adults can sit down.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do that.
Family means, family means about this situation.
Or even prior to the family meeting, just the parent meeting. They kind of like, hey, like I said earlier, these are my pros and cons. What are yours? How can we find a happy median? Because we want to have a unified front for this child.
Right, right.
Because I might not like your vision. Excuse me, you may not like or agree with mine. But to your point, this is going to impact the child. And that ain't always going to be the case.
Right.
Because what I don't damn like does not mean it's wrong.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I have conversations with my children all the time. My whole thing I always say is, man, me and Peter were talking earlier, and I was just like, I appreciate you listening to me, but if they're young men, I'm not saying you got to do what I say. I'm saying at the end of the day, like, this is my point. So, Dad, I don't look at it like that. My thing, I always try to raise them to think. But then let me try it this way or whatever. You know, I'm going to do it this way. I'm like, okay.
Right.
But, you know, but I know you're thinking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Contemplate.
Yeah.
Coming up with formulated plans.
Exactly.
Right.
That was a conversation we had this morning. Like, he was just like, man, well, I did this. I called this person because hell, I had to do this, that, and that. And I'm like, okay, cool. I know he's thinking instead of, I'm going to do this because I feel like that. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Are you out your damn mind?
Right.
You know, like, damn, son, like, do you look at, what if that word don't work, this, that, and that? Because we know life is what? Constantly pivoting, turning, and changing and adjusting.
Right.
That's life.
That's life.
Right? What you plan to do is just that, what you plan to do. But you want to go tell your boss, hey, I want to raise because I did this, that, and that. And they're like, no, hell no, we ain't got no money for that, and I don't think we're going to pay you that shit.
Matter of fact.
You know, you need to get the hell up out of here.
Right.
Get your ass up out of here. Tell your daddy don't give you that stupid ass advice no more.
Right. Right.
And it happens.
It happens.
It happens, man. And that was the kind of things you know, when we talk about on the show, like when you give unsolicited advice to people and stuff like that, be prepared for the rebuttal. Be prepared to go sit there and talk to folks and things aren't going to necessarily be received the way that you anticipate they're going to be received.
Right.
And I think a lot of times parents ain't necessarily prepared for that. And you got to sit there and look at that with your children, especially the older they get. You get all kind of outside stuff. You know, what I told you with these boys, Coochie is undefeated. Every weight class. My son don't listen to me. He listen to that girl.
Right.
You don't do what that girl do. You don't do what that girl do.
At all.
No, mama.
He want to take a chance.
Mama should touch me and kiss me and do things you never told me about. Shit.
Right.
Boy, that's all he do. Listen to that girl. Yeah, you think?
You think?
Yeah, I ain't gonna keep doing it. Listen to you. And you gotta, like, that's one thing a lot of parents don't be mentally prepared for. Because you've been sitting in control so long.
That influence, that outside influence start creaking that door closed on you. You don't be prepared for it.
I told you, man, the older they get, the less control you got. You can't whoop them. Can't put them on punishment. Let's think about that. Why I say, you know, again, and I ain't got no damn parenting book, but like I said, I just try to be two things with everybody, my children too, consistent and fair. You know, hey, look, this how I am.
Right.
You know, I get off of that, they're gonna be different. I'm gonna try to be fair with you. You know, but that's just me. And I think a lot of times people don't really take into consideration that everybody ain't looking at it that way. You know, and you know,
Everybody's vision is different. Everybody's vision of the world and the future is different. It may be similar in some aspects, but for overall, it's all different. Everybody sees things differently. I'm gonna give you a good example. There was a post that Slick put on Westside Misfits. The lady was grabbing this little girl's hair and dragging her along, and I put on there. I said, "Hey, you know, take her. You know, she getting arrested." I said, take her to jail because you don't treat no babies like that, especially no little girls." So then somebody coming in, so it would be better if it was a little boy. None in my comments said anything about it would be better. Period. It was just that, and I said to him, I said, "So and I, cause I'm petty, I comment. I said, hey, so you tell me if you got hit by a guy or got hit by a girl, you would hit both of them the same?" "No, I wouldn't do that." I said, "Exactly. I digress."
But the thing about that, Lab, that's just even with being, you know, having like, especially with platforms like mine and posting, I gotta be cognizant when I make a post and make a video. What I deem is common sense is just what I deem is common sense.
Right?
And people may interpret and take shit all kind of ways.
And I've learned that just by commenting on 2 posts I commented, people really don't have common sense. Like, one post was about a lady had some problem at the hospital, how they were talking about black children at the hospital that had been shot. And I said, well, you know how you should stay with your loved one if they having a surgery. And this lady comes on there and say, you know you can't go back there in the surgery room. And I'm thinking, common sense says that I'm not talking about while they're in the operating room, because we all know that we can't go in the operating room. I just thought that was common sense.
So you think. But,
right.
But that's to the point I'm getting at.
To your point.
Yeah. Is that what I deem is common sense is just what I deem is common sense. Because, man, people be all over the place. The best thing I can tell you, brother, is that when you doing things in public and you're handling your children, you just really can't have too thin of skin.
Right.
And because you can just be so stern on a certain way, and people will say some stuff so off the damn wall. I don't want to say you're getting in your feelings, but you're like, man, what the fuck is going on with that?
Right.
And you're like, this shit is not right.
Right.
And they feel the same way about what I'm saying.
Right.
You know?
Until you don't do anything to the child. We're not saying this happens, and then the child is breaking into their house and they say, well, why you ain't whooping when they were younger?
No, but see that, and that's the thing. But you might have beat the shit out of them. You might have really been a stone, damn military push-ups, mopping, brush. You may have did all that stuff and still can make the season.
Right.
You know, kids still be hard-headed. You don't know. You don't know. That's why I say what I always say. Parents get too much credit when their kids do good, and we get too much damn blame when they do wrong.
Right.
Like that mother just hard-headed.
Right.
All the rest of the other 3, they doing good. This damn fool here doing some shit. Ain't that happening to him? And that's one of them things, man. You really can't. You really don't know, man. And far too often people don't discuss that. But just I do think what you brought up earlier, it will make life so much easier when everybody can sit down and say, listen, this is what we want to do, especially those 2 parents, those leaders. Because again, once a kid can see that there are differences in the pathways that the parents are going, they're going to go to the one that they feel like going to be the best one.
The path of least resistance.
Daddy going to let me stay out late.
Right.
Mama gonna let me, drop out of school. You know what I'm saying? Daddy ain't really tripping about, you know what I'm saying, if I miss this test to go play the game. Mama got, my knee hurt. I just got to tell Mama, Dad, I ain't got to go to practice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that's why I say it's so important with having it. But unfortunately, that's not gonna necessarily be the case.
Right.
And so you start looking at these kind of things, the parents go down these pathways of having a vision. You gotta be realistic about what's gonna come out there at the end. Because far too often I heard so many times, well, she did it, or he didn't do that.
Right.
Everybody blame it, all this other kind of stuff.
Right.
It doesn't make it go away. It doesn't, because one thing I've always had to say with my ex-wife is mentoring's going over a lifetime. We don't stop. So the narrative of they're an adult, let them do what they want to do, I think stupid as shit. I think stupid as shit. Because I'm the man I am now, not just because how my granddaddy raised me,
Right.
but also how my OGs, they gave me game. Hey man, do this, these is where you handle certain things at your job. These way you handle certain things with your family. These how you handle certain things, you know what I'm saying, with your health. And we're doing certain stuff. Them OGs teaching me that as a man. Not me, I'm a man, let me do it. That's about the stupidest shit. That's the stupidest shit in the world to me. Somebody else think that's totally wrong.
Right.
I cringe when I hear that. They grown, let they do what they want to do. No, the fuck hell they don't,
Right.
But again, I understand. I can't make, technically, my adult children do what they want to do.
Right.
But I do think I have a moral obligation as a parent. Hey, son, let me holler at you. Now, they're going to do what they want to do. But let me holler at you and talk with you and stuff like that. But it's a turn.
We had that, though. Do you, like everything Custom said, there's not really many of those men around anymore.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. But see, here's the thing. When we say there's not a lot of men like that around no more, I think that what happens is a lot of times, depending on how the actual thing was going, because I can just say this, and this, ladies don't take offense. A lot of times, you can see a woman take a kid, hell, fucking the hell up, and give him back to his daddy to fix him when he's 17 or 18.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, again, we can't control if this person didn't want to be bothered. So that's irrelevant.
Right.
But if you sit there and say, hey, they got an opinion, I don't want to listen, I don't want to listen, and then all of a sudden now they 17 or 18, he bigger than everybody, don't want to listen, now you go to your dad and let your daddy fix him. Daddy can't fix that shit.
It's already ingrained.
Daddy need a whole Harry Houdini magic kit to get that shit out of, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't know. That's the thing about a lot of times people from the outside looking in can say certain things, we're doing certain stuff. It'd be so much to it. When he was 9 to 10 years old and dad might want to be disciplinarian with him, and mama said let it go. It might have been a time where that young lady was sitting there doing certain things, and mama was wanting to get in her ass about this how a young lady should do stuff, but dad was saying she okay, that's my baby girl. That shit,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It doesn't get better.
Yeah.
And that comes from, like I said, both sides, depending who it is. So I don't know. But like I said again, I do think a lot of, because we all have personal maturity, right? Because you ain't the same person you was at 17, 27, 37, 47. You all evolve and mature. You hope, right?
Right.
You just hope. But what happens is some things that you may think is okay. That's, you get older, like, I don't know, my experiences. Unfortunately, sometimes folk make mistakes. You see a lot of cats might come out of jail. And now, like, yeah, this is the thing, damn, you ain't have to do that. You ain't have to go down that path. I was listening to the thing the other day. Me, I go to these schools, talk to these kids all the time. And one thing I hear a lot of people say is that I didn't have a father figure. And I keep reiterating, I'm very stern on this. You got a 50-50 chance having a good daddy. Just because your daddy, that don't mean your daddy would have did it. You knew right and wrong. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal.
You know what the biggest problem a lot of us have, and I'm gonna get to some of these comments on Instagram. The biggest problem I find that just sitting back listening and learning, watching folks, is that people do not, children, parents, ex-wife, ex-husband, people do not treat people as they would want to or request to be treated.
Golden rule.
You get what I'm saying? Like, forget the thou shalt not kill and all that. Just treat people like you would want to be treated. That's it. That is the simplest thing you can do, is when you look at this person and you say, well, shoot, I don't want to be robbed. Well, don't rob this person. Or shoot, I don't want to be shot at. Well, don't shoot at this person. You get what I'm saying? That's the simplest thing you can do.
Just that Plus personal accountability.
It don't take much.
You know, that's the thing. Just treat people right, but accountability is a big thing. Got a phone call from my nephew. He hit me up Sunday. Can you send me some money to get a lift? Can I borrow some money to get a lift to go to work? I said, son, my nephew, just like one of my children. Son, you understand the verb. Borrow mean you'll get my money back. He said, I get paid Wednesday. I said, let me tell you something about
I need me.
Well, I don't like asking for my damn money.
Right.
He said, all right. At 11, he said, I get paid Wednesday evening. 11 o'clock Wednesday morning yesterday. My money was in my cash out. And so that was like me. He's 15.
Right.
But now he understands, like I'm teaching you that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, hey, you know, this is what's going on. My children. William sitting there saying, Daddy, we want to go get some, what that, bubble tea? Bubble tea. I don't like that nasty Asian stuff. Where you want to go? I said, Will, I ain't got my card. Well, you know, I just got my cash. Well, we'll do it. I pay you. This is what William telling me. Okay, cool. Go there and got the stuff. I spent my money. William said, I got home. I said, y'all get my money. And he said, well, you know what? He all like, Chris gonna. I said, no, y'all give me my damn money.
Right.
And that boy had nerve to say to me, you tripping like that by $20?
What?
I went the fuck off.
Right.
Man. Look, because my point was, when you tell a man that I'm gonna pay you back,
right,
you finna learn right now, you gonna pay me back.
Right.
You gonna pay me back. And if you borrow from somebody and you can't pay them back, be man enough to tell them in a timely fashion, I can't pay you back, and take what comes from it.
Right.
Get cussed out to cut you off, whatever. But that's the kind of those little things you're teaching it. Right. One parent may be like, man, don't worry about it. Don't do that, and that. Because I could just say it, hey, you good forever, you told me. No, you gonna have to learn. You borrow, pay back. Now you learn to keep your name good.
Right.
Now you learn that. You learn the difference between the verb, borrow, and have. Get a have. Because I might say, nah, you can't have it, I ain't got to lose. You say I borrow, you going to pay my money back.
Right.
Okay. But that's, shit, we can't go around that.
Borrow is a sweeter verb. It sounds better.
Yeah.
It sounds like yes.
You got me effed up with that, though.
It sounds like yes on the other end of that question.
Yeah, so you got me effed up because you feel like they're going to get it easy.
Right.
No, not me.
Lion Lady Love says that have the conversation with your son. Me and maybe life will be much better. That's my point with old school and new school parents. I guess what we were talking about earlier. Slick said that everything Custom 5 says, unfortunately my family is mostly women. My dad was the man for my kids early in their life, but now he's gone. Everything Custom says, I heard a counselor say that mothers we raise daughters and love our sons. I guess, yeah, I've heard that before. We are from a different generation. Lion Lady Love says we are from a different generation. We were raised in the church and knew better. Everything Custom says, oh, you said something then. I guess when you talk about accountability, you don't have to be taught right from wrong. It's human nature. I agree with you, Lion Lady Love. That is so very true. As mothers, she said, as mothers, we raise daughters and love our sons. Okay.
And it can be the same way with fathers and sons. They can raise their sons, but really just love their daughters.
And that's true.
And that's generally. And so it makes it easier with a balance. But what you have is what you have.
Right.
If you got your mama there and you don't have your daddy, what you have is what you have. If you don't have mama there, you got daddy, what you have is what you have.
Right.
Spend less time. That's why I'm just telling you, dog, I heard that shit so much. Well, I didn't have this fall, I didn't have this, I didn't have that. Shit, man, you ain't got it.
Right.
You ain't got it. Let me tell you something. I'm a very confident man. Very confident man. And I thank God I had some success, a decent amount of success in life. And I truly feel if I had a little bit of this, I'd be way further along.
Right.
But I didn't have it.
Right, I agree.
I didn't have it.
I agree with you.
So what the hell
I feel
I'm
like
saying?
that if I just had a little bit of this.
I didn't have it.
Because I push myself as far as I think I could push.
Yeah,
Right.
but I'm glad I had what I had, and what I didn't have made me what I am today because I got kind of pushed for it. So sometimes we can't get so caught in it because it's easy to deflect our setbacks and failures on what we deem we didn't have, because you don't know.
Right.
You
It
don't
may
know.
be worse.
Man, hey, I love my dad to death. I love him. But my pop street dude, he Hollywood Road.
Right.
And I'm sitting there like, hey, you know, would I have been better if he was around doing certain stuff? Hell no. Hell no.
Huh?
Hell no. He a good guy.
Right.
And a terrible parent.
Right.
Good guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But would I have been better if he was around? Hell no.
And you know, I've never had a father issue because I always had uncles. But you know, I never know my father. I never knew him at all. I couldn't tell you what he looked like, nothing, sound like anything. But I can't say. My issue with a little bit of this pushing wasn't from him because he was never in the picture. You get what I'm saying? And had he been in the picture, what would I have been?
Yeah.
It may have been worse because I had uncles that pushed me so much to do certain things. Now, granted, I wasn't their child, so of course I bucked back because that's how I was as a child. But at the same time, would things have been
Like you said.
gravy at certain things? Maybe I was meant to struggle a little bit so I can get out of high school at 14, you know what I'm saying, and graduate college at 18. You know what I'm saying? Those things may have been meant for me to be like that.
Yeah, exactly. Push you
Right.
to steal, push
Right.
you to sell,
Right.
push you to do. I mean, those kind of things. That's not knocking, but that's just you know being honest about stuff. And I say, you know, just and again, when we start talking about, you know, parenting after divorce, those kind of things. That difference of opinion on stuff can be very impactful. Very impactful. You know, on a child. And I just want to, you know, I'm a little disappointed nobody ain't called, but I get it. A little bit. But I do appreciate everybody interacted. But I do want to leave kind of this in parting with everybody is that, and I want to circle back to something, is that understand what you deem right is what you deem right. We can say, hey, this more. We know from a moral standpoint, not to hurt nobody, mistreat nobody, be a good person. But your pathway to life is just through life is just that. And I think the best thing we can do as parents is kind of teach our kids to actually process and help them find the best pathway for them. Because what I want you to do and what you want to do for yourself will be totally different.
Right.
But if you can teach your child to understand, listen, the path you're choosing, kind of look at it. And if you feel comfortable with going through it, go at it, son. Go at it, daughter. And that's where I think people have to kind of go in that direction. But you got to be honest with if you believe in this, you moving on that, and you feel like that's a certain way, and then you got another voice saying this, that, and that, and they really believe and listen to both voices, it's gonna be issues. It's gonna be issues. And one thing PJ said to me today, he said, "Daddy," he said, he just came out left field. He said, "One thing you always say, just listen to somebody credible. And if you listen to me or don't listen to me, if somebody ain't did that shit, you can even be." And that's what, and it made me feel good that he said that, because I'm not so ego driven that do what I say on my way the right way. But if you talk to your Uncle Lab, your Aunt Slick, and she says some stuff to you, and I know, hey, they been in the game with doing that, cool. But you talking to Uncle Leroy, who ain't never did it,
who ain't never did nothing,
and just because they loud, that don't mean they right. You know what I'm saying? And they on this certain path. Why don't you listen to them? And that's the thing about it. People got to be very, very, especially parents. You got to be careful who you let be around your damn kids saying shit to them. I don't give a damn if you mad at mama or mad at the daddy. You better be damn careful. You exactly letting them have that damn influence, man, because it can be very detrimental to your child in the grand scheme of things. So listen, guys, with all that said, we're gonna wrap everything up, man. It's a great show. I appreciate everybody with the feedback and everything. If you came in late, make sure you go to, again, Change the Live, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burton, on YouTube. Go to the YouTube channel and subscribe. You can see the whole show. Oh, we got a call in. Thanks for calling Change the Live. This is Deonte Burton.
Yes, I'm calling in because I just have a rule.
Okay, cool.
My rule for divorce is I don't want no woman coming in playing mama to my kids.
Okay, then what is playing mama?
Far as coming in, doing stuff that I'm supposed to do, like shopping, going to school functions, different things like that.
Okay, now, but what? Okay, you're saying you don't want them having any kind of access to your children, anything that you feel like that you should be into it, but you wouldn't have a problem with them being around your children.
No issue about. They can be around the kids, but I just don't want them to do stuff that my job.
Okay, now, do you think that is okay? And I appreciate you sharing that. But do you think that is realistic that somebody is going to be around your children, and they're going to just stay in the background and just sit back and watch? Because when you're around, you're around. When you ain't around, they're around. Do you think that's realistic that somebody will want to be in a situation where they got to stay in the background with everything?
What if he's pushing it? What if the ex?
No, it's not realistic, but those are my rules.
But what if the ex is pushing it?
What if your ex is pushing that template?
What if your ex is pushing that the other person? Hey, listen, they're there. They're doing it. Because again, we started talking about those. You said that's your rule. Is what you find out very quickly. Your rule is just that, your rule. That doesn't mean that's going to be the law. With that said, do you think that the time you spend focused on that rule, it takes away from the time where, like, listen, let me see what this person is about, get to know them, so my kid can benefit from having more in a positive impact if they're a good person, as opposed to I don't want you being bothered.
Yeah, that's true.
Mr. Well,
But
that's
I
always
still
true.
feel like my rules are my rules.
But I get that. But would you even be opposed to, like, let's sit down, let's talk. This is my vision for my child, and see where they coming from, or you just stuck on, I don't want you doing it?
I'm stuck on I don't want you doing it.
Now, what if you had a significant other, would you want them totally not to be involved with your children?
That was his rule.
Huh?
What's that question again?
No, like say, would you be okay if your ex had the same rule, that you got kids and you dating somebody, you're serious, it may be your husband, would you be okay with your ex, that's their rule, they don't want no kind, you had that new husband, stepdad, or any extracurricular activities, not going shopping, would you be okay with that?
Yeah, I'll be okay with that, but realistically, men ain't gonna be like that anyway.
And you think women are? Do you think any man or woman will want to spend time with a kid at whatever the other parent's discretion?
I don't know, but you have to respect how the parent feels or what the parent wants.
But when you say you have to respect that, but it's not your call, because at the end of the day, this is just something to think about. And I had a friend of mine had a conversation with me years ago, and he said something that really changed the way my viewpoint as a 20-something-year-old parent looked at things. The time people spend focusing on, I don't want this person speaking to my child because, I don't. That's my job. I don't want them, taking my kid nowhere, disciplining my kids, shopping for them, this, that, and that. The time you spend fussing about that, and you don't take the time to get to know that person, you don't know if you're dealing with somebody that's psychotic. They could be beating your kid, molesting your kid, or whatever. Or you could be dealing with somebody that could be an A1 person that could be making a great positive impact on your kid in addition to yourself. But when we sit there and have those views, I don't want that to happen, I don't want that to happen, and I ain't talking to the new boyfriend, I ain't talking to the new girlfriend, and you never get to see who's dealing with your child, it's so dangerous, because that's when I think, to me, a lot of stuff happens, because people are so stuck on not wanting to find out who this person is around their kid. Because once it's established that, hey, that's who the new person my ex is with now, and they're going to be around my kid, excuse me, when I'm not around, because you can't control that. When you don't sit there and try to get to know that person, you've totally put yourself in a situation where you don't know really what's around your kid. And because you want to try to control something that you cannot control, you're losing out on that, and in the end, you could really be putting your kid in danger. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
And it's just something to think about, because it happens a lot. Well, new person, the ex don't want to talk to the new person. They don't want to deal with them. Ain't got nothing to say. But that kid can grow to love that person, because you can't control how your kid feel. You can't control that. And that happens far too often where people do that. And that's when we say, people can look at it, well, that person has had a great impact, or that person has had a very, very, very detrimental impact on your child, because one parent is so stuck on the way they want things to go outside of their house, as opposed to finding out, more about that person, and trying to remember at the end of the day what's best for the kid. Because the key word you said was I. But is it about you, or is it about your kid? That makes sense?
Yeah.
So what do you feel about that? Is it more important how you feel or how the kid feel?
I think both.
And do you think at the end of the day your benefit or your development should be kind of comparable to the kid?
I don't know. I'm not really for sure. I don't know.
It's just something to think about, because I think, and I appreciate you being honest, but I think that will get lost a lot of times, is that, if that person, if you got a daughter and she want to be a cheerleader, and you don't know damn cheer, but this new person is like a former cheer coach, and they teach your child how to do that, or you can't do no damn math, but this person is very versed in helping your kid with their homework. Is your feelings, I don't want them helping my kid, greater than your kid, benefiting from this person helping them? And the other thing of it is that what we got to be careful of, and when you say that, if you have no problem with the teacher helping the kid, and you have no problem with the coach helping the kid, is the new person now, is it because they with the ex, or you really don't want nobody saying that to them? Because at the end of the day, a lot of times I've seen it. Coach can say something to him, teacher can say something to him, but your new boyfriend or girlfriend can't say that to him. And does that really make sense?
Yeah, that don't make sense.
You might want to rethink some stuff then. But no, but I appreciate you sharing that. But it's just something to think about, because I understand how people can think, and I appreciate, because that's what I said earlier. When you first come out of a situation, newly divorced, out of a relationship, what our vision of what we want to have happen, we got a more protected vision, because we want to make sure certain things will go a certain way. But as time goes along, ain't no big damn deal, or this, that, and that. But it takes that time, and you got to be willing to be able to go through them bumps. But when you're kind of stuck on, this is it, this can never be, I think it kind of hurts the child in the grand scheme of things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cool. You got anything else you want to add?
No, that's it.
Cool. I appreciate you sharing that with us.
All right.
Cool. Make sure you go to Change Lives, subscribe to the YouTube channel as well.
Will do.
Thank you. Take care now. And I appreciate the caller, man, because that was really, to be honest with you, I think a lot of people think that way. They don't want this, they don't want that, and just really be forgetting. And it really don't come down to the people really don't want somebody to say, the new person saying something to them. You feel that way, but you'll let somebody else do it.
Right.
But you feel,
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But I think a lot of that just got to do with newness. Newness of the situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I move and think a little bit differently. 3 years I divorced than I did at first.
Right.
The first year.
You change
we're
as
doing
time
that,
goes around.
But you got to be willing to be open to that, you know. And that ain't no knock on people. We're doing it because everything new, everything different. So, anybody else want to call in, man? If we close everything out, we're doing that. See, we should have a conversation like that rolling all night.
Right.
We're coming in, but great show, great show, great show. Well, listen, guys, again, if you came in late, came in the middle of the show, make sure you go to Change the Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burton, on YouTube. You can put in Change the Lives or Deonte, Deonte Burton, Burden, in the search on YouTube. You'll see the icon, the blue man icon pop up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way you can check out the videos entirety. Also take advantage of all the other great information that's on the YouTube channel. Listen, guys, I appreciate all the love, support. Thanks for you guys tuning in tonight. Hope you guys have a safe and great weekend. See you next week on Mr. Short Dollar. Love you all. Take care and talk with you soon.